never tried that.
The regular meeting of the Aurora City Council for Monday, July 8th, 2024 is called to order. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mayor Kaufman.
Here.
Councilmember Bergen.
Here.
Councilmember Coombs.
Present.
Councilmember Gardner.
Here.
Councilmember Hancock.
Here.
Councilmember Drinsky.
Here.
Councilmember Lawson.
Here.
Councilmember Medina. Councilmember Murillo.
Present.
Councilmember Sundberg. Mayor Pro Tem Zvonek.
Here.
There's a quorum.
Announcement of the public call-in line.
City Council welcomes feedback from the public on both matters appearing on the agenda and during public invited to be heard. If you would like to speak and have not already spoken to an operator, please press *3. For those watching on Channel 8, call 855-695-3475 and press *3 when connected. You will hear a prompt confirming you are in line to speak to an operator and then be able to continue listening to the meeting. When the operator comes on the line, please be ready to give them your name and agenda item you wish to speak on. Keep in mind you must press *3 before the city clerk reads the title of the item you wish to speak on. Finally, as a reminder, Council does not allow comments about any items on the agenda during public invited to be heard. Each speaker is allowed 3 minutes, and public invited to be heard is limited to 1 hour in total.
El Consejo Municipal de la Ciudad de Aurora da la bienvenida a la opinión de sus habitantes y otros vecinos en asuntos comparecientes en la agenda y durante la invitación a la audiencia. Esta sesión tiene disponible interpretación en español. Por favor, háganos saber si usted necesita ese servicio. Recuerde que el Consejo no permite comentarios de la audiencia mientras se dirigen asuntos de la agenda del día. Por favor, confirme su turno y espere a la invitación para comentario público. Gracias.
Please join me in an invocation. O Lord our God and our Father, we continue to come and we come to you and we ask that you would look upon this particular gathering tonight to keep us safe and guide us in our decisions. Bless our city with honorable citizens, industry, and sound education and good government. Unite our community together, even though we come from different backgrounds. We pray that there be justice and peace in our city. Give the city council and citizens the wisdom, direction, and sensitivity to the business and proceedings before us tonight. Hear us, therefore, as we commit this meeting to the help of the community. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. During executive session, we discussed personnel matters, property acquisition, and security. Approval of the minutes. A motion is in order for approval of the minutes for June 10, 2024.
Mayor, I move to approve the minutes.
It's moved by Councilmember Sundberg, seconded by
Hancock.
Councilmember Hancock to approve the minutes for June 10, 2024. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on the approval of minutes for June 10, 2024.
Mayor Kaufman.
Mayor votes yes.
Councilmember Murillo.
Yes.
The motion passes to adopt the June 10th City Council meeting minutes.
Motion is in order for the adoption of the minutes from June 24, 2024.
Mayor.
Councilmember Bergen.
Motion to approve the minutes from June 24th.
Moved by Councilmember Bergen, seconded by
Coombs.
Second by Councilmember Coombs to approve the minutes from June 24th, 2024. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on the adoption of the minutes for June 24th, 2024.
Mayor Kaufman.
Mayor votes yes.
Councilmember Murillo.
Yes.
The motion passes to adopt the June 24th City Council meeting minutes.
State Swearing in, Judge Stigers. For City Attorney, for Acting City Attorney or Interim City Attorney Jack Bajorek.
Good afternoon, Council. Judge Day sends his regrets and regards. He was unable to be here today. He had a fairly serious accident. He should be okay from a tree trimming accident. But yeah, he fell off a ladder while trimming his mom's trees. But he should be okay. And so, but please keep him in your thoughts and prayers. And even though it was unfortunate circumstance, it is my pleasure when Judge Day asked me, I didn't hesitate to be able to swear in Jack Bajorek. He was been here since I started my career. He was a mentor to me when I was a city attorney, a prosecutor. He was always the guy we went to his advice, and then luckily he was over there when I went to the civil side. Still the guy I went to for advice. He was my manager for a short time. He's not the reason I left. I left to become a judge. So no, it's an honor. It's an honor. You deserve it. All right. And if you raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Jack Bajorek, have been duly appointed.
I, Jack Bajorek, have been duly appointed
as interim city attorney for the city of Aurora, Colorado. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully and impartially administer the affairs of such office in accordance with the Constitution and laws of the United States of America and the state of Colorado and the charter and ordinances of the city of Aurora, to the best of my judgment and ability. So help me God. Congratulations.
Is Daniela Garcia here? Is there anybody else here for Colombian? Yes. Okay, please go. Whereas Colombian Independence Day is celebrated annually on July 20th to commemorate the day in 1810 when Colombia declared its independence from Spanish rule, and whereas the city of Aurora proudly recognizes the significant contributions of Colombian Americans to the cultural, social, and economic fabric of our community, and whereas the Colombian community in Aurora has enriched our city with its vibrant traditions, music, dance, cuisine, and values, fostering a greater understanding and appreciation of Colombian heritage among all residents, and whereas the Latino Arts and Cultural Institute and Fundación de Colombianos in Colorado has been instrumental in supporting and promoting Colombian culture through their leadership and dedication to organizing cultural events, educational programs, and community outreach initiatives, and whereas these organizations have taken the lead in organizing the first annual Colombian Cultural Week, providing a platform for celebrating and sharing the rich heritage of Columbia with all residents of Aurora. Now, therefore, I, Mike Kaufman, Mayor of the City of Aurora, Colorado, do hereby proclaim the week of July 15th to July 21st, 2024 as Colombian Cultural Week, in witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the official seal of the City of Aurora, Colorado to be affixed on this 8th day of July 2024. Mike Kaufman, Mayor, Aurora, Colorado.
Thank you, Mayor Kaufman. We just have a few words. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Kaufman, esteemed City Council members, distinguished guests, and members of our cherished community, it is with profound gratitude and immense pride that we stand before you today to accept this proclamation, declaring the week of July 15th to July 21st as Colombian Cultural Week in the wonderful city of Aurora. On behalf of the Latino Arts and Cultural Institute and Fundación de Colombianos en Colorado, we extend our heartfelt thanks to Mayor Kaufman and the City of Aurora City Council for this extraordinary honor. This recognition is not only a celebration of Colombian Independence Day, but also a testament to the vibrant and enduring contributions of the Colombian community to our city's cultural tapestry. We are deeply moved by this acknowledgement of our efforts to promote and preserve Colombian culture. For many years, our organizations have strived to create spaces where Colombian traditions, music, dance, and cuisine can be celebrated and shared with broader community. Through educational programs, cultural events, and community outreach initiatives, we have worked tirelessly to foster greater understanding and appreciation of our rich heritage. The proclamation of the first annual Colombian Cultural Week is a milestone that reflects the dedication and hard work of many individuals who believe in the power of culture to unite and enrich our lives. It is a reminder of the strength of our community and the importance of diversity in building a more inclusive and vibrant society. We are especially grateful to the City of Aurora Office of International and Immigrant Affairs, whose unwavering commitment, support, and enthusiasm have made this possible. Your passion for our culture and your dedication to our mission inspire us every day. As we embark on this week of celebration, we invite all residents of Aurora to join us in the festivities. Let us come together to dance, sing, taste, and experience the beauty of Colombian culture. Let us use this opportunity to build bridges of understanding and to celebrate the diversity that makes our city so extraordinary. Thank you once again, Mayor Kaufman, for this tremendous honor. Thank you to the City of Aurora for embracing and celebrating our heritage. And thank you to everyone who has supported us on this journey.
Land acknowledgement. The City of Aurora acknowledges that we gather on the territories and ancestral homelands of the Cheyenne, Ute, Arapaho, and Lakota peoples, past and present. We also recognize the 48 contemporary tribal nations that are historically tied to the lands that make up the state of Colorado. Indigenous peoples have remained committed to the stewardship of this land over many centuries. As these words of acknowledgement are spoken and heard, the ties that these nations have to their traditional homelands and to their vital place in the ecosystem are renewed and reaffirmed, and we are called upon to be better stewards of the land we inhabit as we continue to work to meet the needs of our entire community. Decorum announcement. Council has created a public forum and wants to receive citizen input. This forum provides the most protection for free speech and is the most scrutinized speech by courts. You are asked to follow the same rules that council follows, including no attacks of a personal nature or causing a disturbance. We would ask you to refrain from using profanity, as children may be watching. All speakers are asked to address only the council during their remarks. Please respect those who are speaking, whether you are in agreement with the content or not. Outbursts from anyone are not permitted. Please refrain from clapping, snapping, cheering, or booing to allow everyone the opportunity to be heard. Breaches of decorum also include approaching the dais, speaking beyond the 3-minute limit, refusing to comply with security screening prior to or during the meeting, and conducting yourself in a manner that does not allow speakers and/or counsel from continuing the normal course of the meeting. These behaviors and any other disruptions may lead to a recess and potentially moving the council meeting to another location. The mayor, the mayor has been requested by council to admonish speakers for noncompliance. Council shall be given the opportunity to ask staff to provide speaker contact information when the speaker is at the podium. Council may clarify statements related to any speaker's comments at the conclusion of public invited to be heard, but shall not enter into a debate with the speakers. Public invited to be heard is limited to 1 hour total, and each speaker is allotted 3 minutes to speak. Council may elect to extend public invited to be heard by a majority vote of the council. If there is a disruption, as I've outlined, that does not allow the meeting to continue, the proceedings will briefly recess. Upon reconvening the meeting, if disruptions continue, the council will move the meeting in order to conduct city business, and the public will lose its ability to voice concerns. Public invited to be heard.
Ayante Anderson.
I yield the rest of my time to speak on agenda item 11A11.
LaRonda Jones.
I also yield my time for agenda 11A11.
Keoa Lewis.
I yield my time to speak on agenda 11A11 as well.
Midian Holmes.
Heavenly Father, you were invited into this space earlier, and I'm going to call on you because you are the Most High. Lord, I ask you to fill this room tonight. Father, I ask you not for mercy, but Lord, tonight I ask you for the burden of your power. Father, in your Son's name, I ask you to compel the hearts of those that are in leadership. I ask you to move them if they are not courageous. And Father, I ask you to cast your unwavering power onto them like you did in the Old Testament. If they don't understand the difference between power and responsibility. Father, you have been hard to see. You have been hard to see under this leadership. So I ask you to affirm your presence, Father. Make sure that we and these leaders that sit here know who you are. I lay this at your feet, and I lift this up to you. And with that, I yield the rest of my time, my precious time, for agenda item 11A11.
Gina Simeon.
I also yield my time to speak for 11A11.
Brandon Gerke.
I also yield my time for 11A11.
Alfredo Carvajal.
I also yield my time for 11A11.
Topaz McBride. Natalia Young.
I also yield my time for 11A11.
Candace Bailey.
I also yield my time for agenda item 11A11.
Tanya Hamilton.
I also yield my time for 11A11.
Mackenzie Klein. Mackenzie Klein. Okay. Maria McComb.
Oh, no, that's me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt, but I'm so thankful to be here. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Mackenzie Klein. I'm your Miss Aurora, and I was born in Denver, and I grew up here in Aurora. I attended Prairie Middle School. I went to Village East Elementary, and I partly went to high school here at Overland. But in college, I decided to move to Utah because I loved the outdoors so much. And in Utah, I received my bachelor's degree in political science. I also minored in constitutional studies and Spanish. And finishing there, I graduated with a 4.0, and I worked at the Utah State Capitol. I was very involved in my local government, and I even decided to work in DC for a little bit. But after that time, I decided that I really missed Colorado, so I decided to move back this year, and I'm so happy that I did because it was just the right decision. You just know when the decision is right. You feel peace in your heart. And education is something that is so important to me, which is what my initiative is promoting higher education for at-risk youth. So I'm a program specialist with Big Brothers Big Sisters. So I oversee one-on-one mentorship with young adults. And the reason education is so important to me is because when my mom was 7 years old, she was living in Mexico, and she had to drop out of school at the age of 7 years old because she had to survive poverty, and her family couldn't afford her to go to school, so she had to start selling clothes. And at the age of 20, my mom decided to come to the United States to pursue the American dream. And when I was 7 years old, I witnessed my mom become a U.S. citizen in a room that looked a lot like this. So I know what getting an education can do for young people, and that's why I'm so eager to spread awareness and just teach kids who may not have a positive role model to tell them that education matters and education does change your life. So I'm super excited to be here, introduce myself, and continue to serve the great state of Colorado and the city of Aurora. This weekend, I'm actually going to be competing for Miss Colorado, so I'm really looking forward to that. Tickets are still available, so if you want to go support the talented women across our state, it's this Sunday. We'll be crowning a new Miss Colorado. And yeah, the Miss America opportunity is one of the largest scholarship providers for young women. So if I'm the lucky girl that is crowned this weekend, my goal is to use that scholarship money to attend law school and become an immigration attorney. But lastly, I just thank you all for the work that you do, and I look forward to seeing you around the community. Thank you.
Maria McComb.
Hi, I would like to yield my time as well for agenda item 11A11.
Angelia Baker.
I'm a resident of Aurora, and I'd like to yield my time to 11A11.
Robbie DeYoung.
Mayor, Council, I think you recently received an email from me regarding an abandoned vehicle that was over by the university hospital. That wasn't a joke. It was, but it wasn't a joke. That's an actual car that is over by the hospital. And I've talked to Scott about it at Parks Aurora, and they're looking into it. Yesterday, I went over by, I believe the name of the neighborhood is Hamden Hills. I'm sorry, I can't remember for sure, but it was on Genoa. This vehicle, no tires on it whatsoever, up on flimsy jacks. The lug nuts for the car were on the ground. And when I called the police to have them come out and look at it, even though I had already run it and knew that it wasn't a stolen vehicle, it was definitely an abandoned vehicle that was in a dangerous, precarious fashion. I was told by the officer that came out that there was nothing illegal about the way that it was parked. and that I would need to probably just call Park Aurora and have them take care of it. Scott and I have already talked about that one. He sent somebody out to look at it today. But why would I have an officer tell me that a vehicle that is in that kind of position in a neighborhood that's right adjacent to a park where kids play, that kind of vehicle, the front tires, well, there weren't any tires, but the front rims were on the ground. The back ones were up, but the jacks that were underneath the car weren't even in the proper place. For when you jack up a car, you're supposed to put the jacks in certain places so not to bend the frame or anything like that. That wasn't even done. But yet I was told that there was nothing illegal about the way that it was parked by an Aurora police officer. I'm not happy.
Kane Leonard. Kane Leonard. Nate Casa. Jen Beverly.
I too yield my time for agenda item 11A11.
Mark Monroe.
So good evening, council. So apparently you can see that the people are in hurt and they're mourning. There needs to be a change. There needs to be a change with your hour-long commitment to the people here in Aurora, because I'm a resident, and I've called for help many times, which takes your officers over an hour to get to my house. I live across the street from Cottonwood Park. We have a lot of violence going over there, a lot of trash. We don't have a patrol officer or anything. The park is going to the pits. I mean, they mow part of the grass, and it's just, I mean, when I worked for the city of Aurora, we took pride in the city of Aurora. Right now, I don't know what's going on with the city of Aurora, the council people, the workers, or you guys taking the money, putting it in your pocket, not giving it back to the community. This is my hometown. My dad went to the Air Force and fought 34 years for this country. And as you guys sit there and you're driving your Mercedes, your Lincolns, and you look down on the people that have actually built this city and built this country, we need help. We're asking for help. And I think, Mayor, you need to look into it. When you have a house full of people here, and you say, oh, we're going to give them an hour to speak. When we have voted for you, if we would have gave you an hour to sign up and been done, you probably wouldn't be the mayor. Your officer, McKnight, that was supposed to investigate my case, when I told him about me being attacked as a senior citizen, never got back with me. Never got back with me. You know what he told me? He says, oh, I no longer work in the department, so you got to find someone else to investigate. So me being attacked as a 60-something-year-old man in front of my house, trying to resolve the issue, then he comes back and attacks me, then he tears up my car, so then I try and get some protection because I can't get none from you guys. Now I'm on probation for 7 years because I'm protecting me and my family? There's something wrong, Mayor. You guys need to look at this for real. I mean, this is no joke. These people are here mourning, all of them, black, white, every kind of color in here. But when it starts happening to your family, maybe then you'll take a real good look at this. But to deny the people 30 minutes to an hour to speak, sir, it's not right. And I give the rest of my time to A11. Thank you very much.
Cody Seagraves.
I'll give up all my time to 11A11.
Robert Lewis.
also give up my time for 11A11.
Okay, and we have 3 people on the call-in line.
Madeline, go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Hi, my name is Madeline Gregg. I am calling regarding the city's budget and how our money is being allocated. Looking into the 2023 budget, I saw that an additional $10 million had been given to policing, and that is already on top of over $100 million that the police force is getting. So I am asking that Aurora City Council take a serious look at this budget and allocate money to community services and things that help enliven the community and not subjugate marginalized and minoritized people, as is evidenced by the recent killing of Kylan Lewis. I saw my tax dollars at work when I watched the body camera footage, and I was struck with horror and outrage as I saw officers completely strip this man of his humanity, despite him urging them to see his innocence and personhood. In that moment, those officers did not see him as a human being, a brother, a son, and a loved one, but a person to wrongfully criminalize and exact power over, in this case, lethal force. When police shot Kylan, a man with full life ahead of him, they were doing what they saw as their job. Same with Elijah McClain, who was killed 6 years ago next month. Proof of this lies in the conviction or lack thereof of those officers that killed Elijah McClain. 2 of the 3 officers were acquitted of all charges. This is a systemic issue, and though council intends to discuss a resolution tonight, only when action is taken to ensure this never happens again will Kylan's family and his loved ones receive justice. So justice looks like making sure this never happens again. Justice looks like making sure Aurora communities are well funded and resourced so everyone has their needs met, and not giving to an over-bloated police department that has a systemic racism problem that it has had years to reform itself out of. So thank you.
Sabrina, go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
There you go. Thank you.
Hi, I reserve all my time for 11A11.
Brandy, go ahead. You have 3 minutes.
Yes. Can I be heard? Can I be heard?
Yes.
All right, thank you. I'm just going to carry on. My name is Brandy Marie Majors, representing several different types of Black factions, and usually do a lot of boards, sit on boards, several boards in Denver. I actually don't want to yield my time. I do want to say that I have, there's a war against Black people, right now going on in our city, and it's been constant. The endless murdering of us is ridiculous, and it's been going on in Aurora for a long time. Everyone knows that. We're talking about this man, getting shot by SWAT, Aurora SWAT, right, for having a cell phone. That's just the minimal of that. Just reading articles is just ridiculous. There's no accountability for the level of atrocities that Aurora police do religiously on a day-to-day basis. I watch the Aurora police profile Black people on Colfax and Havana at the bus stop, shaking them down all night long, just profiling all night long. It's ridiculous. There's so much going on. But then we're talking about, our little Black girls getting shot in the park. We're talking about little Black girls being came up missing. There's a lot of things going on. And what's being asked for is like almost, it's ridiculous. I don't need an apology. No apologies. Need actual accountability, serious punishment. Like, punishment. Lock them up, take away their assets, punish them. What they're doing is an act of terrorism. It's racist. It's an act of terrorism against black people here in our city, in this city. It's not safe. It has never been safe. I could speak to that since I was 7 years old. In this city, in Aurora, I can speak to visually seeing what Aurora PD does and how city council is complicit with it. It is beside me. Prayer isn't going to help. What they need to do is seriously hold them accountable. Really hold them accountable. Because that's what you wanted to do with this man. You had to arrest him. He had a warrant, allegedly. So, he wasn't even allowed that process.
Randy, your time is up.
Pass. Thank you.
Okay, that was the last individual.
A motion is in order for the adoption of the agenda.
Mayor,
Councilmember Coombs.
move to approve the agenda with 11A4 and 11A5 removed.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilmember Coombs, seconded by Councilmember Murillo to remove 11A4 and 11A5.
Mayor,
Councilmember Hancock.
I should wait till after we vote on this.
I'm sorry, who was?
Do I need to wait till after we vote on this?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, depends.
Well, I would like to move to remove 11A10 and 11A11.
Second. That is not a friendly amendment.
It's been moved by Councilmember Hancock to remove 11A10 and 11A11.
Mayor, may I say a few words on the topic?
It's been.
Well, I think a second is in order first.
It was seconded.
It's been seconded by Councilmember Bergen.
Mayor.
So point of clarification, 11A4 and 11A5 would remain on the agenda?
No, it's off.
No.
To take them off.
Because it's not a friendly amendment.
Correct.
So need clarification from Councilmember Hancock if she's moving to approve the agenda with 11A4, 11A5, 11A10, and 11A11 removed.
Yes, 11A10 and 11A11 are removed. And 4 and 5.
And 4 and 5.
And 4 and 5.
All right. So you need a second.
It's been seconded by Councilmember Bergen.
Yes.
Further discussion?
Mayor, may I make a few comments?
Councilmember
I want to address the audience and others, if I may. I'm the father of a black son who is going to be 23 years old. He's an amazing young man. I'm proud of him, but he's given me some gray hairs for sure. He has experienced trauma in his life that he's not open about, but I believe it involves gun violence and seeing someone shot. And he's a justice-involved individual. He's been in the hands of law enforcement or at the mercy of law enforcement and stopped probably 14 times that I know of. From Parker Police to Greeley, to Brighton, to Georgetown, to Aurora, Denver, and Kansas State Patrol, Colorado State Patrol. And I'm proud of him, and I've known what it's like to stand before a judge and plead with the judge that he would be lenient on my son because he's got so much potential. And now he's in a place where he's doing much better, nearly a year sober, and I'm so proud. Now, I say this partly that as a son in those situations, I can look at episodes in our city, episodes in our state, or in our nation which might involve police, involve shootings or violence, and I can be empathetic, I can reflect, I can think and imagine to myself, how would I feel if my son were in that situation? What range of emotions would I feel? Anger, sadness, a change for things? So I literally have allowed that to go through my mind. So there's an empathy I feel for the family, and I believe that people up here are not callous to that either. Now, when it comes to a resolution for an apology, there are organizations that might be under some type of investigation, and it's legally not advisable because
Mayor,
of
point of
liability
order.
reasons. So I just want to provide some clarity as to why we can't put this through in a legal fashion, yet express empathy. Thank you.
Mayor, point of order, those
Councilmember Coon.
comments are to the item. So if we can keep comments focused on
It's to the motion.
this motion.
Mayor, Mayor.
Sorry. Councilmember Jerzky.
Call for the question on the Hancock motion.
It's a non-debatable motion.
Need a second.
It's been moved by Councilmember Jerzky, seconded by
Zvonik.
Mayor Pro Tem Zvonik, to call for the question, non-debatable motion.
So,
Call for the question.
so the vote on this is whether or not to close debate on this, on the approval of the agenda.
Mayor,
Mayor votes no.
Councilmember Hancock. The motion passes to end debate and vote on the main motion.
Call for the question on adoption of the agenda.
So this is adoption of the agenda with items 11A4, 11A5, 11A10, and 11A11 removed. Mayor Kaufman,
Mayor votes yes.
Councilmember Murillo. The motion passes with 8 yes votes, 2 no votes from Councilmember Coombs and Councilmember Murillo to adopt the agenda with items 11A4, 11A5, 11A10, and 11A11 removed.
Next question before us is a consent calendar for motion.
We tried to give you the opportunity to do the right thing. Yep, hit the gavel. We tried to give you the opportunity to do the right thing, and so that we could be heard on 11A11. We peacefully approached your podium so that we could do 11A11. Because of that, this meeting now becomes ours. Say his name. Hallelujah. 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 Say his name. Hallelujah.
All right, let's go. We got this thing consent.
Can I get you some coffee, Mayor?
No, I don't think it helps.
You're not going to get, because we have 2 council members not here.
Okay.
And then we can do a vote to do this virtual.
I'm sorry. Okay. All right, guys, can Councilmember Jurenski go and get my gavel?
Yeah, call the meeting to order, ask for a consensus. You're not going to get a consensus, then ask for a vote to keep the meeting virtual. That's all we're doing.
Okay, so what, okay.
Call what she said. Just
What she said, okay.
Call the meeting to order.
Okay, the meeting's called to order. Do we have to do roll call again?
Yeah, I will do a roll call again.
Okay.
Are we recording?
Are we?
Do we need to record?
Yeah,
We do, right?
yes.
Let me make sure that Aurora TV is ready for this.
They are. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's in the chamber.
And Curtis is virtual.
Okay, good.
Mayor Kaufman?
Here.
Councilmember Bergen? Here. Councilmember Coombs? Councilmember Gardner?
Here.
Councilmember Hancock?
Here.
Councilmember Drinsky? Here. Councilmember Lawson?
Here.
Councilmember Medina? Councilmember Murillo? Councilmember Stenberg?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Zvonek?
Here.
There's a quorum.
Next question before us is the adoption of the consent calendar on motions, item number 10.
Mayor, if you move to go into the meeting in virtual mode.
Okay. A motion is in order to go into the meeting virtually.
Mayor,
Mayor Pro Tem.
motion to move the meeting virtually.
It's moved by Mayor Pro Tem, seconded by?
Hancock?
Seconded by Councilmember Hancock to go into a virtual meeting discussion. Seeing no discussion, we are now in a virtual setting.
Need to vote.
Oh, okay. Is there discussion? Seeing none, call for the question on the adoption of the motion to go virtually.
Mayor Kaufman?
Member Chess?
Yes.
Yes, for me.
A motion passes with 8 yes votes to conduct the city council meeting virtually.
Next question is the adoption of the consent calendar resolution and ordinances, item number 11A1 to 11B1 with,
Consent calendar motion is first. 10.
I thought I just did that. Oh, okay, okay, consent calendar motions, item number 10C1 to 10C2. The motion is in order.
Mayor,
Councilmember Bergen.
motion to approve 10C1 and 10C2.
Moved by Councilmember Bergen, seconded by?
Zvonek.
Second by Mayor Pro Tem Zvonek to approve item number 10C1, to approve the consent calendar motions 10C1 to 10C2. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on the adoption of the consent calendar on motions item number 10C1 to 10C2.
Mayor Kaufman?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it's not coming up.
The motion passes to adopt the consent calendar for motions.
Next question before us is the adoption of the consent calendar on resolutions and ordinances, 11A1 through 11A3, and then 11A6 through 11A9.
Mayor,
Councilmember Drinsky.
I would just like to pull item 11A9 for discussion.
Very well. Further discussion? Okay, motion is in order.
Mayor.
I'm sorry, Mayor Pro Tem?
Yeah. So motion to approve item 11A1 through 3, 6 through 8, or 9, but 9 discussed.
Through 8.
And then, or through 8 then, and then 11B1.
Very well. Moved by Mayor Pro Tem, seconded by?
Bergen.
Second by Councilmember Bergen. Do we, I'm sorry, so we go through?
You take the vote on? Yes.
just need a vote.
So we pull,
Yes. Just the, yes. Katie has it worded correctly. Just A9 pull.
okay, so we're pulling 11A9. Do I do 11A9 now first, or do I go back?
No, you go back.
Go back? Okay. And the question before us is the adoption of the consent calendar resolutions and ordinances, 11A1 to 11A3, 11A6 to 11A8. 11 what?
11B1.
Oh, and 11B1. Okay, 11B1. So we already had a motion, right? Okay. So discussion? Seeing no discussion, then call for the question on the adoption of the consent calendar for resolutions and ordinances as amended.
As amended.
The motion passes to adopt the consent calendar for resolutions and ordinances as amended.
Okay. She's got to call the roll, right? You just?
It passed.
Okay. Would the clerk now please read the title to 11A9?
Item 11A9 is Resolution 2024-86, submitting to a vote of registered electors of the city at the special municipal election of November 5th, 2024, a ballot question pertaining to the ownership of pit bulls within the city of Aurora.
Mr. Schulteis, could you speak to that issue?
Sure.
Or
I
staff?
don't know, I want to make sure you guys can hear me. My mic won't turn on, so.
I'm sorry, I'd like to speak first, Mayor.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The reason I've pulled this item is because as the sponsor of this item, I have gotten a lot of emails from the public stating that they are worried with the way it's worded. They're concerned about it passing. It has come to my attention that it has to be worded this way, and I would like to turn it over to Pete Schulte to give that explanation to the public because there is grave concern about the wording.
Very well. Mr. Schulteis?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. Pete Schulte, Public Safety Client Manager, City Attorney's Office. All right, I'm going to try to give you the Cliff Notes version of this craziness, all right? So starting back in 2005, obviously there was the pit bull ordinances, then it got submitted to a vote for the people, then there's changes in 2011, there were changes in 2020, all that stuff. What happened in court was the current ordinance, all right, that you guys had repealed everything back in 2020 that went in effect in 2021, that was determined to not be valid. So what we are now under the city code, what it should be, is the ordinance that was passed in 2011. Right. Okay? So that everything you did before 2020. So when we do a ballot initiative, we have to go and we have to amend that old language. And that old language included the three breeds that we're talking about here. That included them defined as a pit bull terrier, an American Staffordshire Terrier, and a Staffordshire Bull Terrier. So to make it correct for the vote of the people, we have to include those three breeds in the ballot question, which I think there was a lot of the confusion is why aren't we including the other 17 breeds? Because that's not the law anymore after the district court. So now that being said, that decision is on appeal, but during that time frame, this is allow if the council passes the resolution, will allow the vote to go to the people. And at that point, depending on what the vote is, it should be a moot point, and we can move forward. So the ballot language does. So we have to start it out with, shall the people of Aurora, Colorado agree that restricted breed ban in the City of Aurora Code be repealed, okay? Thereby allowing Aurora citizens to own an American Pit Bull Terrier, American Staffordshire Terrier, and Staffordshire Bull Terrier dog within the city limits of Aurora, Colorado, with the owners being subject to the requirements of the city code, including section 14-7 concerning keeping aggressive, potentially dangerous, or dangerous animals. And if they click yes, that is saying they would like to repeal that particular ordinance and allow those breeds subject to the city code.
Is it?
Okay, Councilmember, well, I tell you what, let's do a motion and then do a discussion.
That's what I can.
Motion is in order.
Mayor,
Councilmember Jurinsky.
motion to approve item 11A9.
Been moved by Councilmember Jurinsky, seconded by
Bergen.
Councilmember Bergen to approve item number 11A9. Discussion. Councilmember Summer.
I was just wondering if your average voter out there, they know what they're voting for. it's a yes for pit bulls or a no to repeal. It's sometimes people get confused about it.
So let me be clear about that too. Under law, once this passes council, if it passes the resolution, no city resources can be used towards the ballot language. So that would be good to reach out to the groups that you all have, that are you speak with, to say, hey, spend the money on getting the word out, vote for yes on whatever the number will be once it gets over to the county clerks. The reason that we have to do this in July is we have a deadline to be able to get them on the coordinated ballot for November.
Okay, further discussion? Seeing none, call for the question on the adoption of item number 11A9.
The motion passes to adopt item 11A9.
Wow. That's it. We're done? Are you serious? All right, I know, wow. Okay, reports. Let's see, Councilmember Cruz not here. Councilmember Gardner? No report. Councilmember Dorinsky?
I would just like to wish my dad a happy 80th birthday. I'm sorry you couldn't be here tonight, but I know you're watching, and I love you, Dad.
Mayor Pro Tem?
No report.
Councilmember Murillo's not present. Councilmember Sundberg?
Mayor, I just want to thank our police department. I just want to thank our police. I think more than ever in society, people realize they need them more than ever. And so there's a few of them protecting a lot of us these days, and my thoughts go out to them.
Councilmember Medina right here. Councilmember Hancock?
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to remind everyone that myself and Mayor Pro Tem Zvonek will be hosting our town hall at the Colorado Early Colleges on this Thursday, the 11th. And I'd like to just take a moment as of the 4th of July. I saw a lot online about Frederick Douglass's speech, why slaves should celebrate the 4th of July. And while he, in his speech, did a stinging rebuke to those abolitionists who drag their feet with regards to ratifying the freedom of slaves and, the equation of whether or not they were men or whether they were persons and all of that. I mean, his rebuke was flawless and it was stinging. But at the end of his speech, he talks about the hope, the reasons why we should hope. And I just want to read a portion of his speech. He says, "But it is answered in reply to all this that precisely what I now denounce is in fact guaranteed and sanctioned by the Constitution of the United States, that the right to hold and to hunt slaves is part of the Constitution framed by the illustrious fathers of this republic. Then I dare to affirm, notwithstanding all I've said before, your fathers stooped basely, stooped to psalter with us in double sense, and to keep the word of promise to the ear, break it, but break it to the heart. And instead of being the honest men I before declared them to be, they were the veriest impostors that ever practiced on mankind. That this is an inevitable conclusion, that from it there is no escape. But I differ from those who charge this baseness on the framers of the Constitution of the United States. It is a slander upon their memory, at least so I believe. There is not time now to argue the constitutional question at length, nor have I the ability to discuss it as it ought to be discussed. The subject has been handled with mastery power by Lysander Spooner, Esquire, William Goddard, Samuel Sewell, Esquire, and not the least Garrett Smith, Esquire. These gentlemen have, as I think, fully and clearly vindicated the Constitution from any design to support slavery for even an hour. Let me ask, if it's not somewhat singular that if the Constitution were intended to be by its framers and adopters a slave-holding instrument, why neither should slavery, slave-holding, or slave can be found anywhere in this document. Fellow citizens, there is no matter in respect to which the people of the North have allowed themselves to be so ruinously imposed upon, as that the pro-slavery character of the Constitution and the instrument I hold there is neither warrant, license, nor sanction of a hateful thing, but interpreted as it ought to be interpreted, that the Constitution is a glorious liberty document. Read its preamble, consider its purposes. Is slavery among them? No. Is it in the gateway or is it in the temple? It is neither. While I do not intend to argue this question on the present occasion, let me ask, if it be not singular, that if the Constitution were intended to be, by its framers and adopters, a slaveholding instrument, why neither slavery, slaveholding, nor the slave can be anywhere found in it? What would it be thought of an instrument drawn up legally, drawn up for the purpose of entitling the city of Rochester to a tract of land in which no mention of land was made? Now, there are certain rules of interpretation and proper understanding of its legal instruments. These rules are well established. They are plain, common sense rules as you and I understand it and apply it. Having passed these years in the study of law, I scout the idea that the question of constitutionality and unconstitutionality of slavery is not the question for the people. I hold that every American citizen has the right to form an opinion of the Constitution and to propagate that opinion, and to use all honorable means to make his opinion the prevailing one. Without this fight, the liberty of the American citizen would be as insecure as a Frenchman. Ex-Vice President Dallas tells us that the Constitution is an object to which no American mind to be attentive, or no American heart to devoted. He further says the Constitution, in his words, is plain and intelligible. It is meant for the homebred, unsophisticated person to understand it. Now, take the Constitution according to its plain reading, and I divide the presenter of a single pro-slavery cause in it. On the other hand, it would be found to contain principles and purposes entirely hostile to the existence of slavery. I have detained my audience entirely too long. At some future point, I will gladly avail myself the opportunity to give this subject full and fair discussion. But allow me to say in conclusion, notwithstanding the dark picture I have this day presented of the state of the nation, I do not despair of this country. There are forces in operation which must inevitably work for the downfall of slavery. The arm of the Lord is not shortened. The doom of slavery is certain. I therefore leave off where I began, with hope, and while drawing encouragement from the Declaration of Independence, the great principles it contains, the genius of American institution, my spirit is also cheered by the obvious tendencies of the age. Nations do not stand on the same relation to each other as they did years ago. No nation can now shut itself up from the surrounding world or trot around the same old path its fathers did without interference. The time is which such could be done. Long-established customs, hurtful character could formally fence themselves in and do their evil work with social impunity. Knowledge was then confined and enjoyed by the privileged few, and the multitude walked in mental darkness. But change has now come after the affairs of mankind. Walled cities and empires have become unfashionable. The arm of commerce has borne away the gates of the strong city. Intelligence is penetrating the darkest corners of the globe. It makes its pathway over and under the sea as well as on the earth. Wind, stream, lightning, and its chartering agents. Oceans no longer divide, but link nations together. From Boston to London is now a holiday excursion. Space is comparatively annihilated. Thoughts are expressed on one side of the Atlantic or distantly heard on the other. Far off, almost fabulous Pacific rolls in the grandeur at our feet. The celestial empire and the mystery of the ages is solved. The fiat of the Almighty, let there be light, has not yet spent its force. No abuse, outrage, whether in taste, sport, avarice, can now hide itself from the all-prevailing light. I say this to say that, for those who would say that the 4th of July is not a historically African holiday or a Black American holiday, it's an American holiday. We all as Americans, years later after he made this speech, went to war over slavery. And for those who would say that America was founded on the principles of slavery, have not read Douglas's speech, have not read the Constitution, do not understand the Bill of Rights and the preamble to the Constitution and why this country was founded. The greatest experiment to ever be known on this earth is the United States of America. We have our problems. We struggle often. and we will continue to do so. But Douglas felt that the founding principles of this country and who we are as Americans in our hearts and soul. 400 years ago, my ancestors came here by force, but I am an American. I served in the military. I raised my hand to the flag. I believe in the Constitution, and I believe in the principles of this country. And for anyone who won't stand for the pledge, who won't acknowledge that this country is great, I will be happy to help you pack your bags and leave. Because to me, this country is worth fighting for, and there are those who would seek to dismantle, disrupt, and destroy and tear this country apart. Those people do not love this country. Those people do not love the principles that we were founded on. The fact that people risk their all to come here means something. It's got to mean something. And the reason why we serve in this council is to serve this city and to serve these citizens. And the fact that we have people screaming and hollering at us and yelling at us and calling us out of our name breaks my heart. It hurts me deeply because I stand to serve this city and this community, and I will continue to do so. And I will not allow a bunch of bullies, terrorists, anarchists, opportunists, provocateurs, and others who want to lift their voices so they can get social media clicks to make me any less dedicated to the principles of this city, of this country that I am today. And I thank you for that point of personal privilege, Mayor and Council. And that's the end of my report.
Amen, Sister.
Thank you. Councilmember Lawson?
Well, that was a hard act to follow, so I'm going to give my Pfizer legislative update. This week, the Senate Appropriations Committee will begin its markups for spending bills, and the city is watching to see if our congressional directed spending requests will make the cut. The city is also working with our state partners to address issues such as motor vehicle registration for the next legislative session in 2025, and the next Pfizer meeting will be Friday, July 19th at 1 p.m. and will be virtual. That's my report, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Bergen?
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Councilmember Hancock. My report is basically, I wanted to just say thank you to the Metro District of Blackstone for letting us have a meeting with SOREA representation and staff representation. I think it was educational, hopefully helpful to those residents. And then attended the Aurora Highlands ribbon cutting of the 38th Avenue interchange and bridge, and the mayor was there, and it was wonderful to see. So that's it. Thank you.
Did I go to Councilmember Norton? Okay. Let me just say, I didn't give a report earlier, but that any loss of life is always a tragedy, and there is a process when there is an officer-involved shooting that we go through. There is an ongoing investigation by the 18th Judicial District, critical response and investigation team, as per state law. There is also an investigation, internal investigation by the Aurora Police Department as to whether or not the officer adhered to the standards and training and procedures of the department. And it's only fair that those two processes be allowed to occur before we comment on this particular case, as tragic as it is to the family. And I extend my condolences to the family. With that, seeing no further business before the Aurora City Council, the meeting is adjourned.